guys, it's Mark Lane. Hey, in this video, I want to talk to you about one of the most important things when it comes to wholesaling, but the most important thing when it comes to real estate in general, and that is building your team. Okay, there's a lot of people, they get into this business and they kind of feel like they can just do it all on their own. And you can, to some degree. You can do some on your own and you can make some profit, you can make some money. But the people that blow it up, that take it to a whole nother level, are the people that are really good at building a quality team. Now here's the great thing. When it comes to real estate, most of your team works for free, right? Your real estate attorney, they work on your deals, but they get paid from the closing. Your real estate agent, they get paid from the person that sells the house, not you as the buyer. So there should never be any intimidation or fear when it comes to building your team. And I know that I had it, and I know that people do when they start out. They're kind of afraid to make those phone calls. They're afraid to go out and network and try to build team because they're not really sure what to say. They want to get the right people on their team, so they grow, so they make money, but they're not sure. They're afraid that their newness to the business is going to make them look foolish. They're not going to know what to say, or maybe they're not going to close a deal, whatever it might be. But that you just have to get over that, because here's the thing with it. These people that are on your team, or that should be on your team, they want you to call them because that's business for them, right? If you don't pick up the phone and call, that's business that they've missed out on. So when you call these real estate agents, you call these real estate attorneys or title companies, they want that call. They want that business. So don't have any fear when it comes to building your team. I'll tell you a story real quick. And this goes into the mindset. The mindset of the people on your team will be the biggest game changer of all your business. Nothing will come close to changing this. So I had this one real estate agent that I had been working with for a couple years. My first, maybe about 3. My first couple years in the business, at least, we had done dozens of deals together. And he was a pretty good agent. He had a really good network and really good relationships with all the other real estate agents in town. He was likable. Let's put it that way. Well, likable is not always what you need. So I was getting to the point in my business where I was doing more and more and more deals, and I got to the point where I wanted to really start wholesaling fast. So I approached him one day. I said, listen, I want to start putting in a lot more offers, and they're going to be lower offers because I wanted to wholesale them. So I had him pull up the search of all of the estate listings on the market. And so I went through all of them, and I don't know, maybe there's a dozen or so at the time, and I put an offer on all of them, right? So he had to launch out 12 offers or so, and my offer was probably about 50% of what the list price was. So that made him really uncomfortable because he didn't have the mindset to do that. He didn't want to, his fear was that he was going to offend the other agents, that he would lose his credibility. And I faced that a few times. I've talked to lots of different agents, and a lot of them have that mindset. So anyway, we made those offers. Here's the thing. I got one of those offers accepted. And I got it accepted at the price I offered at without a counter. So 1, he was kind of blown away that I even got it. 2, I wholesaled it. I made, I think, about $8,000 on it. But then here's the part that's funny. I got the email a week or 2 later, and he had to send me some information about the house, about the listing. So I get this email, and I happen to read down through the rest of the thread on the email. Well, farther down, pages down, he had sent an email to the listing agent actually apologizing for my offer. His words were something to the degree of, hey, I'm sorry this offer is so low. I'm sure your seller's not going to accept it, but here it is. So when I read that, I was totally blown away. I'm like, how can this person be representing me, apologizing for my offer, and basically insisting to the selling agent that we weren't even going to get the deal before we even got it? So that was really the point where I'm like, okay, this person's not for me. This person is not right for my team, and I can't grow having somebody like this on my team. So it was at that point, I think we did maybe a couple deals after that, but I really went on the search to find the right agent, the A-player agent, the rock star agent that was going to take my business to the next level. I happened to come across another guy. This guy was the #1 short sale agent in town. Short sales were big at that time. And so I took him out to lunch, approached him. At that time, he didn't really have any investors he was working with. And I really wanted to feel him out, see what his mindset was all about. And when I told him what I wanted to do, that I wanted to start submitting lots of offers, here's how many deals I want to do in a year, and so on, he was like, great, let's get started. There was no hesitation. He didn't have any fear of looking bad to the other agents. He didn't have any fear of losing his credibility. All he knew was that if my system worked, which it does, that it would increase his deal flow for his business. So here's what happened. Because he's a growing agent, he's constantly growing, his business is always growing, he basically handed me off to one of his associates, one of his new agents. In that first year, because of my volume, this agent went from basically no business to being one of the top performing agents in the city off of my volume alone. So what's that say? Look at how much that first agent missed out on simply because he wouldn't submit the offers, simply because he was afraid, simply because he was afraid it would hurt his credibility. He missed out on $100,000 that year alone, let alone over a career of working with a high volume wholesaler or real estate investor. So that's my encouragement to you, is to just start looking and feeling people out. Don't feel like you have to grab on to the first agent or first attorney that you talk to, because they're not all created equal. There's some that are simply better. There's some that are the best. There's some that have a better mindset. There's some that have a better team. So, don't go out and think that you have to grab onto the first one and that the first one is always going to work out, because the chances are, especially if you're listening and you're actually out there doing what I teach, you're going to outgrow most of the people that you work with. It's just a fact, okay? Because most people stay at one level. They stay at one level for their career, and they just don't go further than that. They don't build teams, they don't build themselves, they don't build systems. So start to look for people that have the right mindset. Start to look for people that are focused on building teams. Start to look for people that are focused on leadership, personal development. And when you find those people, they're going to be okay with what you want to do. They really will, because it's going to increase their business. It's going to increase their life, and it'll make your life 10 times easier. When you find the right team, it just takes so much workload off of you, because you can start to hand it off to them. That's their job, right? That's their job, is to close the deals. That's their job, is to help find you great deals. That's their job, is to help make you money. So don't be afraid to be a little picky. I hope that you enjoy this. Don't be afraid to start just going out there and talking. Go out there and start networking. Go out there and start talking to people. Start making some phone calls, and you'll be absolutely amazed at what happens in your business. I'll see you on the next video.